Hello, I'm APX Toycat, and welcome back to another live stream on the internet. Today I'm going to be working on my wheat farm, which is going to involve a lot of dirt, it's going to involve a lot of hoeing, a lot of seeds, and a lot of all the fun things that I know you're going to look forward to in today's video. And by look forward to, I mean, I guess, briefly deal with, because let's be honest, there's a lot of projects in the survival world that aren't necessarily the most hype of gameplay, although Minecraft gameplay, you could argue, is never really hype, but they're important things to be done, they're things that everyone does, and I feel like it's a great opportunity for me to use, today's live stream to do something like this, which is somewhat easy to do mechanically speaking, so we can have a really important chat about the other things in the world, such as, hey, I didn't stream for a week because I've been gone. It was, it was a rough time being gone, but I'm back now, like, I guess like the opposite of an absent father. I'm back right now for you. I'm doing the thing you didn't expect, and isn't that wonderful? So yeah, hello chat. I don't know if calling myself the live stream chat's absent father is necessarily a good idea, but you better believe we're doing it anyway. So hello everyone, I'm APX Toycat. Welcome back to another live stream on the internet. Today we're going to be doing a lot of wheat farming in terms of making the farm itself, but also in terms of using our hoe and doing it that way. It's going to be a great fun time. Also, thank you, Asian Potato Boy. What sort of a name is that? Sorry, no thank you to your name. I don't know what to take from your name, but I do know that it's not necessarily a thank you. Also, I've got some grass blocks. I'm going to place them like midway through the farm. It's a really nice green, the grass here, so I want the grass to grow all the way to the top, just because I feel like that'd be satisfying to see. So, what's the meaning of milk? You never told us, says Sunburnt Penguin. The meaning of milk will never be answered. But hi everyone, hi, hello, welcome to the live stream. Hope you're having a wonderful day today. We're going to talk about some stuff. It's going to be good, assuming you like talking about stuff, because I mean, let's be real, some people don't like talking. I used to think that, like, everyone enjoyed talking, and some people just weren't able to, like, get into conversations. But some people see, like, the art of the conversation, the concept of talking with someone else is like, oh, that's a thing you have to do before you get what you want sometimes. But I feel like the conversation, the learning new things from each other, that's one of the coolest things that humans can do. Also, thank you for the ZAR7. I'm assuming that's South African Rand? Tell me if I'm right, chat. Did I guess that right on the spot? Because I know that South Africa is ZA because it's like Zuid Africa, because Dutch. It's confused. Afrikaans and Dutch, and like really South Africa is a pretty confusing place. But tell me if I got that right, chat. And if so, go me. Thank you for the South African Rand. It could be somewhere else. Anyway, hello, Toycat. How's it in Mexico? Says Steph Meat. So going to, like, here's the thing. Most people who go to Mexico probably end up in, like, places that are designed for, I guess, tourists to go, which isn't a bad thing, I would say. It's probably even a good thing for most people. But, yeah, going to, like, the biggest Mexican city, and the biggest city in the Americas, too, was a really, really wacky, wild experience. There's so much going on, and, like, it's one of the, I don't know, like, it's, so, here's the thing. I love cities, and cities, well, there's grass up here already. There are some cities where there's just so much going on that it's like, it's not, a confusing mess is the term I'll use today to be nice and simple. Also, hi, Dad. Also, thank you. And, yeah, welcome to the live stream, everyone. Hope you're having a wonderful day. We're going to go to sleep, and then we're going to grab ourselves a diamond hoe. Oh, no, we're going to die, except we're not really. I'm glad I had an elytra. I didn't check before that moment, but it's the sort of thing where, like, I want to get more into the habit of checking I have an elytra before jumping off and trying to kill myself. Anyway, so yeah, we're working on our wheat farm today, and a lot of people really like the wheat farm, which I think is fun. I mean, it's not much, but it's honest work, right? There we go. Look at that reference to the thumbnail. Now it all makes sense together. We're going to combine our diamond holes together because they're both running pretty low. And we're going to also say thank you very much for the super chat, Lolita Unga. Ayo. Thank you for the Canadian dollars. And the Ayo super chat. Because, one of the things I haven't thought about recently is Ayo. Like, why have I not thought about that? Is that me, is that my problem or is that Ayo's problem? Who will know? I'll never know. But yeah, so I enjoy my time in Mexico City a lot. I'd recommend it, but I feel like, I don't know, it's the sort of thing where, like, you really need to like cities to enjoy a place like that. And I think for most people, it's probably not a good idea. Like, there's a certain intensity to it that is, like, not overall enjoyable for most people, I would say. I don't know, like, I love cheap food, I love good food, I love amazing sights, I love crazy things. I love systems at play. I know I've said this before, but one of the things that I love about the world is how every single person has, okay, so this sounds ridiculous, but in video games, like City Skylines or something like that, it's really impressive when the game simulates every person individually with their own goals and stuff. They never do a very good job because games are very bad at making lots of individual code work, you know, like individual, like kind of AI simulations work together in a realistic way. I love that cities are basically like 20 million people all doing their own tiny little job and achieving this like great whole of the thing. Like again, collectivization is scary, you know, like in terms of like wheat farming and in terms of like the ways we do it when we force people to do it. But when we just say, hey, there's a big place, there's where all the stuff gets done, you can do your little piece and you'll get rewarded, people seem to really be on board with that. And I don't know, like basically what I'm saying is I like cities because they're like 20 million person simulations and every person seems to be doing something and it's fascinating to me. Like have you ever been in like a 4-man group? Maybe this is like my inexperience of camping showing through. I hate camping, I'll just admit that straight up now. But have you ever been like camping somewhere or setting up a tent and then like midway through the process you realize, if I just don't do anything, I don't think the process gets affected here. Or have you ever noticed that someone else is just not doing something? You're like, hey, why is he not doing something? It's like, oh yeah, well, he just doesn't have a use right here. This happens to me all the time, like maybe I have bad friends, maybe I'm a bad friend. Also, someone says it was South Africa. Thank you for letting me know, Mitchell Clark. But here's the other thing, right? Like, the fact that when you have 4 people, like, some of those people get confused as to what they're doing and they don't really contribute and that, you know, like, there's that issue all the time. The fact that you can have, like, 20 million people and the majority of those are doing something, it's crazy to me. Also, hello, Father. Hope you're doing better after your last trip. Can't stay, have a paper to write. Just wanted to show my support. So first of all, thank you very much for the £5 super chat. I hope that you can't slay too, because I mean, slaying... I mean, assuming slay means murder in this context, that would be bad. So good job that you can't slay. Yeah, a lot of people were quite concerned about me, I think, from the Let's Plays. Like, I don't know what I said specifically. I haven't watched them back. Also, old McToy Cat had a farm. E-I-E-I-O. Why does that song go E-I-E-I-O? Like, what is it about farming that makes you say the vowels? Like, A-E-I-E-O. Wait, I guess, yeah, if it was A, whatever, what, does anyone know, like, because I know that's like, oh, MacDonald had a farm, E-I, but why is that? Why E-I-E-I-O? You can't just say, you know, whatever. I'm getting sidetracked here, but to go back to my thing, yeah, a lot of people were apparently concerned. I don't know what I said, but clearly something concerning is what I've gathered from you know, the concernedness of the responses. And yeah, basically I was kind of curious as to like, so why exactly, you know, a lot of people were like kind of worried or whatever. I wouldn't always say like, you know, everything's always fine. I would say it's sometimes different degrees of fine. Although I guess isn't that life, right? Like a lot of people, I would say a lot of the time, things that you go through seem like they're the biggest thing to ever happen, and because to you, from your perspective, they are, you know, sometimes you can be in this huge dread moment. But I think, again, the thing that I can get, again, it never helps in the moment, but it helps after the moment, is just realizing, like, hey, someone's gone through this, someone's going through worse things than this. Like, again, this is the worst advice to give someone who's going through something bad. But, like, I mean, the truth is like, there have been worse things experienced by more people. And you know what? That's okay. That's fine. That's that's just a thing we accept as being true, right? Also, today, by the way, we're starting with our farm. I want to show you, like, the before and after of this, because I feel like it's going to be quite impressive by the time we're done. So here's what we're starting with, or rather, after we've done a little bit of work. It's actually kind of hard to see the difference between start and end. You know, is this going to look the same regardless of how much we do? Because if so, I mean, why are we even bothering? But spam wheat if you love Toy Cat, says someone. You know, thank you very much for the nice message, but...
Let me join.
Thank you very much for the £10 super chat, Sasan Farsian. Sadly, that is not how these live streams work. And I do not... You know, as much as I love taking bribes to do things, this is a solo survival world. The whole point of the world is that people can't join. I know, like, on the one hand, I appreciate that you like the videos and that apparently you want to be in them. On the other hand, I mean, like, when I see a super chat like that, it's like, oh, this person hasn't ever watched the videos before or doesn't understand the point of the videos. So it's like a little bit less nice in that way. Also, thank you, JDP, for the 7 South African Rand. Isn't that wonderful? I think that's wonderful. Also, yeah, basically, Toy Cat, that's a long time of farming. Yeah, there's a lot of farming to be done to get this going all the way to the top. And honestly, is there any point in it? I guess you could argue the answer to that question is no. But I mean, is there any point in anything? I think that's one of the great questions this wheat farm raises. Because if you just wanted to have a wheat farm, you could probably do it, you know, like instantly and create it, right? Like use a command, copy paste, easy. Also, glad to catch the stream. I'm working and these bring me joy. You should have tried tap water versus alkaline because there is a big difference. So here's the thing, tap water in Mexico, I don't think you can drink. That's why I was drinking alkaline water, because it was the one sold in the store. A lot of people have very strong opinions on water, but I mean, like, honestly, all water's really good, and I think, but the water I prefer is always, I think this is how most people are gonna be. It's the water I grew up with. I'm the only person I know that, like, preferred water to every other drink. I don't know. Also, Pocket Edition was better before Bedrock Edition. I love that there's a, one of the movements I find interesting. I didn't, you know, it's something I wouldn't believe if I didn't see enough people saying it, but there's a lot of Pocket Edition players upset that, like, Pocket Edition isn't just for funds anymore. The fact that the seeds are next to his hoe annoys me. You know what? Just for you. Are you calling me a hoe because she's Kieran O'Neill? Are you saying that the seeds are hoes as well? Because that's offensive. I've always, by the way, thank you, Peeper, for the £1 super chat. Video games could die of violence. Toycat literally farming wheat for 90 minutes. I mean, this is all anyone really wants from Minecraft, right? Like, it might, you know, you might think to yourself, like, what I want is I want a nice violent PvP situation. All I want is a nice farm, you know? It ain't much, but it's honest work. I want a nice wheat farm. I want to place my dirt blocks. I want to hoe the ground so that it gets, you know, hoed and farmed, etc. And then what I also want to do is I want to have this nice diamond hoe. Sadly, it doesn't have the loyalty enchantment, but, you know, we could do better. Also, thank you so much for the £5 super chat, Kieran O'Neill, and then I think I missed one that just showed up on screen right now. Oh, it was £2. Hi, Toycat, you nice. Thank you, Froggle Gaming. I hope that you mean that sincerely. See, sometimes there are chats where I'm like, you know what? I hope this is sincere. If this is sincere, this is nice. If it's not sincere, then I just got tricked. And I'm never entirely sure which one it is, but I choose to believe that's nice. So thank you very much. Why do you need so much wheat? I'm baking a cake, and I don't know how much wheat you need for a cake. Is it 3 or 3 million? I'm actually not sure. Like, I looked up the recipe, but I think it said 3 million. Just to be safe, we'll assume that. Also, here's a weird rendering glitch. You can't see water when it goes through clouds. I guess most of the time you don't need to see water when it's going through clouds. But this is very strange. This is very, very strange. Also, thank you for the 33 Nock super chat. I do appreciate those Norwegian crowns. But yeah, no, I think it's interesting that, like, a thing about this. Also, why is there an extra? Huh. There's something interesting that this whole farm kind of proves, in my opinion. And it's the whole thing of, like, everyone sets their own rules in life. Sometimes it can be easy to look at someone else and be like, hey, what they're doing is stupid. And sometimes, a lot of the time, what they're doing will be stupid. But sometimes you just gotta realize that, like, hey, you can set your own goals. You can, you know, like, life sometimes seems like it has objective, like, win points and failure points. I think social media does this to you sometimes, where you see something and it's objectively, like, I don't know what the word would be, but also it's so strange seeing the water just appear through the cloud. But, yeah, I don't know, like, if you see someone riding a scorpion, that seems like a cool thing to do. You think, why am I not riding a scorpion? When you see someone make this most amazing house in creative, you're like, oh, that's the point of Minecraft. But the point of Minecraft is what you said it, you know? It's the game where no one can tell you what you can and cannot do. And, yeah. So what's the reason I need all this wheat? Because I wanted to, you know, I want to make a cake. And is it free cake or free wheat or 3 million? Who knows for sure? In fact, is it one piece of wheat or is it 1 million actually? Actually, yeah, is a cake free wheat or is it... See, the fact that I don't know the recipe clearly shows this. Also, thank you so much, Quartet of Crickets, for the $3.99 super chat. Enjoy the cake and my money. I would enjoy both those things. Man, I've been on a big cake hype recently. Like, okay, so as a pro tip, as general health advice, don't eat cake too much. It's like, it's pretty bad for you on like most levels, right? However, I've recently realized breakfast just sucks. I like some breakfast foods, but a lot of breakfast foods are just not as good as all-day foods. And also, they're unhealthy too. Like, how healthy is a bowl of cereal, do you think? It's not. We only eat it because, like, some weird, you know, perverted man managed to... The reasons we eat cereal, again, look into Kellogg's sometime, and the most absurd explanations for why we need cereal. Like, we have silly reasons for doing it, right? So I figure, like, you know what? Honestly, given that breakfast sucks, given that, like, okay, so cereal sucks, toast is, like, acceptable, but these things suck and they're not even that good for you anyway, I figured I'm gonna start eating cake for breakfast, and my life has gotten so much better. Like, you have no idea how much better my life is on a day-to-day basis. Like, you might think the thing that makes me feel better is that I went to Mexico recently. You might think the thing that makes me feel better is all the love and support people have given me. Really, it's eating cake every day. Like, a bit of cake in the morning, it gives your brain that rush it needs. Because, honestly, okay, here's my genuine, I don't actually believe this, but I believe this even though I know it's wrong, if that makes sense. Apparently, E-I-E-I-O comes from Ohio. That can't be true. I appreciate the theory, what was the name? Silver PhD, but that can't be true. It's not like O-H-O-H-I-O, like, it's not the right number of letters, and E-A-E-I-E-I-O, like, I don't like that at all, E-I-O, because, I mean, it's also well-known outside the US, and I don't know, like, I feel like Ohio is just not a very well-known state. It doesn't, you know, like, without offense to Ohioans out there, you know, all 6 of you watching this right now, without any offense meant to you, I just want to say, like, you know, I don't think you're famous enough to have an entire, you know, generation of songs named after you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This is all terrible. But yeah, I thought the money makes your day better, says Sam1AO. Well, here's the problem with cake. Cake is expensive. Like, I'll admit, one of the most financially irresponsible decisions I make is, like, it costs, like, £2 for a slice of cake at my local thing. I could buy a whole cake, but then I know I'll eat the whole thing, so I buy it by the slice, and it's like, man, this is an expensive decision that only your super chats can support. That's right, without super chats, I would otherwise be bankrupting myself with my breakfast decisions. But no, yeah, thank you all the people for the nice words. Yeah, but no, yeah, you might... Some people are like, wow, yeah, when I sponsor Toy Cat, I pay for him to do all these cool things around the world. And it's like, no, it's breakfast cake. You're right, Chris. That's all it's really paying for. There's this funny thing, actually. There's this conundrum that most people don't really talk about. But when you donate to an organization, or let's say a YouTuber, because, you know, I'm a YouTuber and not an organization, so I can talk about this one more directly. When you donate to someone, some people have really specific ideas about what that money's going towards. Like, for instance, you know, like I might say, hey, donate to me because it allows me to keep the lights on. Also, thank you, Rain Sabul, for the Canadian $1 super chat. If I say something like that, because I don't ever say stuff like that, by the way, I've always been very clear, like, donate me money and I'm going to spend it on stupid. Like, I'm going to either save it or I'm going to spend it on something stupid. It's not necessary for me to live. Also, do you think mobile users hold back Bedrock from having better features? By the way, love your work, been lurking for years. Hey, thank you, Nathan, for deciding to unlurk for the first time today. I appreciate that a lot, man. And, also, you should make your own cake. You can freeze. Every time I make cake, I feel like it's either really, really bad or it's really, really, like, again, I love making cakes so much, and I love making, like, muffin-sized cakes, and I could talk about cake all day. I'm gonna have to take a side note from cake to get back to this guy's point. Do you think mobile users hold back Bedrock? I think, like, by necessity, yes, but I also think, you know, like, a lot of people think of it as a zero-sum game, but I think the reality is that mobile users are one of the reasons Bedrock can have such a big team. I have to imagine mobile users are the biggest spenders, because think about it. On Xbox and Windows 10, you see microtransactions and you go, no, no, no. You do the Drake thing. Whereas on mobile, you're like, oh, microtransactions. That's just what games are. Like, when was the last time you played a game without them? I recently downloaded for a flight, what's it called? Hill Climb Racing. And it's just like, oh yeah, literally every part of that game is an ad or a microtransaction in some way. That's just how gameplay works. Why would you not have it work that way? There's a thing where you can turn off ads, but then you can turn them back on, and then you get more money, and it's like, oh yeah, well, you can pay money to turn off the ads, but what if you want them back on? I saw a forum thread where people complained there weren't enough ads because they got money from, like, in-game money for watching them or whatever. Like, people love being monetized on mobile, so I imagine, like, that's where a lot of the money that pays for the Minecraft development comes from. And it's also where all the user is. Like, if Minecraft Bedrock was just... Oh man, what is this mess right here? Oh god, have I done this slightly in the wrong place? I hope I haven't. Let's just ignore this for now. Let's just come back to this later. In the meantime, we can focus on what has happened all the way through here, by the way. You know, I'm not going to think about this either. Let's not think about either of these issues, because they are issues beyond my comprehensions right now. We'll come back to them later. My mother has a phone case that functions as a wallet. The companies know what they're doing. That's just a fact about games. So if Minecraft Bedrock was just consoles and Windows 10, it wouldn't have the same development power behind it because it wouldn't have the same profits. That's my honest opinion on this one. But I do think I think old phones hold back Minecraft Bedrock for all devices. Like, does your iPhone 6 need to run Minecraft? If so, surely as soon as, like, iOS stops, you know, supporting it, as soon as, like, a certain number of amount of time passes, Minecraft should stop giving that device updates. I don't know when that point should be, but I think I don't think you should be obligated to still be able to play the latest Minecraft updates when you paid $7 for a game all those years ago, in the same way that people who, you know, like, actually have... Because, again, this seems like an elitist point, but it's just like, hey, if it takes a significant amount of energy to support a significantly small amount of the community, the amount of the community that probably is less hardcore, right? Like, let's be honest, most people who care about Minecraft on phones or tablets probably have a tablet that can run it well. Again, most, not all, but the more you care about games, the more you have equipment that matches that, right? Like, if you have a controller for your phone, you know, or a keyboard or whatever for your phone to do those sorts of things, you probably aren't running an iPhone 5 or like what would be an Android phone from the same era, like a Galaxy S6 or something. Galaxy S5, I guess. Also, thank you, Rain Subul, for the $2 Canadian. Do appreciate it. Also, I showed up on the stream assuming we'd be talking about socialism, says Brock Cells. I got in so much heat with, like, I guess let's just call them the communist crowd. I don't know, like, I made a video which I thought was fun, which basically just made fun of a bunch of people. And a lot of people really, really, really didn't like that. And it's like, oh yeah, I've always hated the idea that it's perfectly cool to make fun of people until you make fun of me. Like, I guess, okay, wait, this is the perfect example of, I think one of the things that everyone hates in the world, because you hear, there's examples of this all over the world, right? Of, the word two-faced, or like, of, what would be another word, like flip-flopping, or like, when people change, their stance depending on the exact version of the thing. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be really nice to you, to your face, but then as soon as you go away, I'm gonna stop being nice, because I'm only being nice to you because you're in the room. That's something everyone hates, right? Can we all agree? You'd feel uncomfortable knowing that as soon as you, I don't know, let's pick another example. Like, as soon as you walk out of the room, the waiters start laughing at you, being like, haha, that jacket? I can't believe that guy thinks he can do that. Like, that makes people uncomfortable, right? That's something people genuinely do not like. Lamasson says they're leaving because this has wasted their time. I don't know what they thought they were signing up for if they're like, you know what, watching this man farm for 90 minutes, that's going to be a great idea. And then they're 20 minutes in like, wait, this guy's just farming for 20 minutes. But yeah, is there anyone here who's like, actually, I really like people who are, you know, again, the word people often use is two-faced, but like, I like people who have inconsistent opinions based on the environment around them. And this is why I don't really, you know, this is why I think the criticism of something that's really great until you criticize their ideas. Like, hey, everyone's ideas are up for criticism. If your ideas aren't up for criticism, they're not up for improvement. Has always been my kind of opinion. Also, remember, kids, farming is fun, says Solomon Justin. That's my real opinion. If you don't think farming is fun, you clearly haven't been farming for very long. Well, that was terrifying. Yeah, honestly, like, yeah, farming is one of the coolest bits about Minecraft. It might not seem very fun, but that's because you're not farming correctly, I reckon. Also, the only reason I watch is for the conversations, says Common Legend. Yeah, the number of people who say that I find really interesting, like, because the conversation doesn't really have a fixed theme, right? Like, because it is based on who's talking and the chat and, like, a little bit of, like, what's been on my mind or whatever, I feel like we go all over the place from, like, a little bit of, like, philosophy to history to everything like that. Like, I saw a comment recently. I'd love to actually hear your live feelings on whether this is a really stupid idea or not. But I saw a comment that was literally like, also, farming is fun. I agree, crazy nice. See, this guy, people who don't like farming, you know how much money you're willing to put where your mouth is. This guy likes farming $1.99 more. I'd rather have them lie and not have me face-to-face confrontation of their actual opinion of me. Nah, because okay, here's the thing. One of the things I like to do to strangers every now and then is be like, hey, so I've got this thing where I think that honest criticism is useful, so, and I think you might benefit from this too. So I'll tell you an honest thing about you if you tell me an honest thing about me. And a lot of people, no one ever does that to people, right? Like, everyone always operates under this silent assumption that you just don't talk about it. But I think people are so fascinated by the things that I say, as, you know, like, the big thing. Okay, for instance, when you look at me, I don't know what your example is going to be. Maybe it's my ridiculous beard. Maybe it's my hair. Actually, it is probably the hair, right? Like, every now and then someone pops into live stream and is like, hey man, I really don't like your hair. To me, it looks unclean, or to me, it looks, you know, too long. Like, you know, guys should have hair that's up to, I don't know how long average guy is. But, you know, like 3 inches shorter than this or something. I don't like your hair. But, you know, they don't phrase it like that. And that's because on the internet they can. But imagine if I never knew that people had that opinion. It would be a scary thing, right? And a lot of people don't know the most distinctive thing about themselves because people are embarrassed to say it. Like I would say, you know, one of the examples that you probably do know is if you're larger than average, you probably know that about yourself because, I mean, like you can see it on a regular basis. But something like if your eyebrows are super bushy, you probably don't think of them as being too big all the time. Like there's a lot of distinctive things about people they don't realize, or even the opposite, like what someone's best characteristics are. A lot of people don't realize what their best characteristic is. And again, unless it's like something really obvious, like, hey, it's my beard, or hey, it's your yard equivalent of a beard. There we go. That leaves it ambiguous. Could be talking about anything right there. It could be the beard has to go. I'm honestly just enjoying keeping it for as long as reasonably possible. Because here's the bit about this beard, right? I shave everything but this beard just to see like how long would it grow. It's been 3 weeks and I don't think it's grown. It just stopped growing like 2 weeks in. And the fact that it took 2 weeks to get to this, look how tiny this beard is. It's patchy, it's inconsistent. What is with facial hair and me? I don't know. Also, thank you very much, Crazy Cat, for the Polish 10 zloty super chat. What's your favorite enchantment in Minecraft? I like loyalty because I feel like not enough Minecraft. I feel like not enough things have loyalty, right? I've said I like loyal people. Also, thank you for the 40 Mexican pesos. Hope you enjoyed your time over here. I really did enjoy my time in Mexico, actually. It was a really fun time, surprisingly so. I was a little bit nervous and scared. Yeah, though I had a lot of like concerns going in. A lot of concerns that I felt better about by the time I left. Wheat but wheatier. You know, I agree, wheat but wheatier. Is that not what we're all thinking? I think it is definitely so, right? No, that's I have no idea what that's meant to mean. Crazy nice, but thank you for the $1.99 anyway. Enchant the hoe of your loyalty. I feel like it's sad that hoes don't have the loyalty enchantment by default, but that's just the world we live in, right? That's just the world we live in. But yeah, no, I think honesty is really cool when you see it to your face because we have again in the place I live and the place you probably live, there's kind of a culture of dishonesty, right? Dishonesty not to hurt your feelings. And it's really cool when people don't hurt your feelings. But I think, you know, this is like a Tyrion Lannister quote. So I'm sorry for referencing Game of Thrones here. But there's a thing of like, hey, if you use your weakest point as your armor, it can never hurt you. If there's this uncomfortableness about the fact that you're short or the fact that you have a terrible beard or that you're fat or something, if you let that be like a weakness point, when someone says it, it's going to hurt because they're the first person to break through the dishonesty shield. Also, have money, says Crazy Nice. Thank you very much, Crazy Nice. What a nice fella. See, that's going straight into the cake fund. You know what? You know how I'm buying breakfast tomorrow? With your super chat money, whether you like it or not. I hope you like that. But yeah, like imagine, like, isn't it kind of crazy that a lot of people, the thing that could hurt them most is a truth. I think it's fine to be hurt by lies. Like if you, you know, even, I guess it's not fine, but it's ideal that you shouldn't be. But like, you know, if someone says, hey, your family's gonna die in an automobile wreck, think about it, and you think about it, it's terrible. Sure, okay, whatever, maybe you don't like that. But when someone just says, hey, here is a factual statement about you, a lot of people are hurt by that because they've never heard it before, because it's not a thing they know about, but then they realize it is true. And that's, I don't know, it's kind of wacky to me, isn't it? The fact that, Alexa just said something. But yeah, the fact that the truth is some of the more hurtful things you can say, it's kind of crazy, right? And I think one of the best things that you can do to be better in the world in that way is to avoid it. Also, Andrew, not noticing my super duper chats. I'm sad now. Sorry, Handbasket Fire Alarms for missing one. Bedrock or Java, which do you think is better? Depends on what you want from a game. A lot of people try to be like, oh yeah, one's better than the other. You know, Bedrock good, bad, Java bad. Oh no, it's Java good, Bedrock bad. But like, I mean, to argue that one thing is objectively better than another, it's kind of tricky. Also, just notice your Rip and Dip shirt. Respect. I got this from Kit Kats actually. Look at this. It's a cat, but it gives you the finger. Everyone loves it when I show it to them. It's one of the few great things in my life, objectively speaking. After a day at work, this is top tier content, says Infinite Paradox. One of the things I find really fascinating, Infinite Paradox right there, also thank you Crazy Nice, but one of the things I find really, really fascinating is the fact that games like, you know, Minecraft, you know, even just farming in Minecraft, like, because Minecraft's a very varied game, but games like Euro Truck Simulator, or the farming in Minecraft, or just doing something simple like building a house, which is the same stuff, or mining, all these tasks that people enjoy, they're kind of monotonous and repetitive, right? Which is what a job is meant to be. And I think it's funny that, like, basically, second jobs are one of the most popular types of game. Like, you know, to give another example, when you play World of Warcraft, that's like a 30-hour-a-week commitment, right? And that's probably putting it lightly. It's probably a lot more than that. If you want to get good at a MOBA game, like a League of Legends or something, that's another, you know, like 40-hour-a-week commitment. And although I would say a lighter example is something like Euro Truck or Minecraft, the fact that people enjoy these sorts of calm, relaxing games where you just get an easy feedback loop. Actually, let's turn up the noise a little bit. Let's listen to these wheat sounds a bit more. I think the fact that people enjoy things like this, I find it to be so curious, but also like one of the most wholesome things about humanity. We spend all day like doing hopefully useful things for other people, and then we get home, we're just like, you know what? I just want to grow my wheat farm. I just want to have more wheat now than I had before, and that's just a thing you can choose to do. It's really nice in my opinion. All you missed was wheat farming, says someone. Exactly. It's not much, but it's honest work. That's the best bit about wheat farming. It's a calming, it's a nice thing, and it's a thing that gives you opportunity. This makes me happy. Yeah, right. It gives you an opportunity just to rest, to unwind, to finally not be on 100% all the time. One of the biggest lessons I've learned from like, because you know one of the things people find crazy is that I travel so much. But one of the cool things about travel is there's like kind of forced turned off time. And turned off time seems like the most ridiculous thing that like should never help you achieve more. But like every now and then, like I really like meditation. Not like meditation where you go like, oh, for like 20 minutes. Like I'm sure someone gets off on that. That's fine. That's great. Also, thank you so much, Crazy Nice, for the 99 cents super chat.
I don't know how much money I have left.
And thank you for letting the super chat voice say that one. I hope that you have a bountiful future, and that was all entirely intentional. It's so satisfying when you complete something in Minecraft, right? Like it gets that feeling of like, oh, this is good, this is perfect. And I don't know, I think it's cool that like we have a human thing inside of us that just likes getting stuff done. Sometimes we feel like we don't want to get stuff done, but what we really want is just something with easy, clear objectives. I think one of the biggest problems with modern day life, because a lot of people argue that there's, you know, like, I think it's a well-known, or at least thought about problem. The modern day life is very stressful, right? It has, you know, depression rates are through the roof, suicide rates are through the roof. You know, like a lot of factors that would decide happiness are down. And a lot of people like to, again, tie this up to their, you know, whatever their ideology is. Like, maybe we should, you know, kill these people, or maybe we should get rid of those people. Whatever it is, like, you know, people like to blame things and things. But I think it's because the modern world is so complex that, like, when you go to work, having a task is, like, it's not an easy, like, start-finish thing. Like, if you work in marketing, how do you know when you've done a really good day's worth of work, right? Like, oh, because I marketed so much more effectively than I usually do? Question mark, question mark, question mark. I think it's really interesting that, like, it's so hard to, like, define success failure. And that's why I think games like Minecraft do really well. They make it really easy for you to make your own goals, and then it's very clear when you've achieved them. Like, it's going to be very clear how much better how far I've gone on this farm compared to where I was before, like how much more wheat there is right here. Like, it's very, not only just innately measurable, but intuitively measurable, right? Like, you can look at the amount of wheat and be like, I have that much, I have this much. Look how many seeds I planted today. I did some good. Look how much wheat I've gathered. I'm not going to use this wheat to work on a cow farm. Might make a video as part of that. Like, wouldn't that be cool? Also, you should make fire alarm videos. I mean, fire alarm videos are not my specialty, but thank you for the suggestion.
Will I get my paycheck today?
Hey, Crazy Nice, thank you for the $15 super chat. You are going absolutely insane today, and that's the best type of sane, assuming it's all good, which it sounds like it is. So it's really cool to hear that you get paid. I think, again, so even as a YouTuber, even as someone who tries to financially isolate themselves from, like, I guess, like, the concepts of payday and whatnot. You know, obviously, there is a day of the month where I do get paid. It's just a cool day of the month, right? Even when, like, you know, most of your money is, like, budgeted away and, like, you don't actually get to spend it. To me, like, maybe this is, like, a finance nerd thing, but, like, being able to be like, okay, well, this amount of money goes to that, this amount of money goes towards the house, this amount of money goes towards this. I know, like, there's a really satisfying thing about payday, I do have to say. Maybe just me. Also, if we hoe this ground, will the water start flowing everywhere? Chat, make your predictions right now. Will the water start flowing everywhere if I hoe this ground under the water? Actually, can you hoe ground underwater? I'd be willing to bet you can't. Why is that, though? Let's, you know, yes, yes, yes. Everyone reckons it will, so I'm gonna prove you wrong. Oh, you can't hoe ground underwater. So, you know, good job if you guessed no, because you guessed correctly, clearly. That's what I've learned. Well, hello there. My prediction is both. Ah, you're going for the quantum understanding of events. Also, yeah, this gap here is very weird. I don't know what I was doing here or why, but it clearly doesn't make any sense, right? Because the water goes forwards and then, you know, we've got to fix this. This is a real key concern. I want to get straight back to this, make this happen. But first, let's do some hoeing. Hoeing around the Minecraft farm. It's a happy, wonderful day. But you know, I think the reason that a lot of like sadness metrics are up is because life is like very complex in the modern world. And I think one of the cool things about Minecraft is it seems like such a simple game, but kind of like real life. Like, complexity doesn't come because it's designed to be complex. It's complexity that comes because you choose what to make of it, you know? Like, strategy is the best thing. Think about chess. Chess is the most basic game to learn. The reason that it takes, you know, a lifetime to master, though, is because you've got to work out every play that your opponent can make and how to react to that. That's what makes strategy complex. Something simple becomes something complex. Minecraft, it's a game that you can complete in an afternoon, or you can feel satisfied with within an afternoon. But you can go so much further. Oh, I'm actually out of grass. I didn't even realize. Is there no more dirt anywhere? Is there like some in here maybe? So I'm fully out of dirt. I've got some bad news. So we're gonna have to just switch to hoeing exclusively. And I'm not much of a hoer, but we can try our best, I guess. I've got to have some dirt somewhere around my world. I don't know where I put the dirt. I just feel like I must have some dirt. But you know, I guess I guessed wrong, apparently. Also, I'm currently hydrated, says Very Gay. That's good to hear. Hydration's important. Don't waste your diamonds on a hoe, toy cat. Here's the thing. You can waste your diamonds on a hoe as long as it's the right hoe. As long as it's an important hoe to you, you should waste your diamonds on a hoe. I think that's an important thing. Check the Never Overworld. Yeah, that makes sense that I put some dirt there, but I think I brought it all back after I was done. Actually, you know, let's check it anyway, just because I feel like people might like it. No more money on my cards. It's crazy nice. Thank you so much for the super chats regardless, dude. I hope you have a wonderful payday. Yeah, in these chests, I reckon. Okay, let's move the cat off there. You know, I really don't want to punch you, cat, but... Okay, chat, forgive me for this. Oh, God. Okay, there's nothing in there anyway. Oh, no, the cat. No. Okay, you know, you didn't see that. You didn't see that. I didn't see that. I'm going to pretend that didn't happen. That makes me feel bad. That makes me... I'm concerned for that cat's well-being, and I'm just not going to believe it. Isn't there dirt everywhere in the overworld? Yeah, but I need, like, dirt inside of nicely portioned chests. Which I guess I don't have. I guess I have moved all the dirt back. Isn't that crazy? The amount of dirt I use in this. Oh, the cat's over here. Oh, I'll leave the cat here. Perfect. See, chat. We've moved the cat to a better place. We've moved the... What's up with streamers abusing their animals? Look, that was the only way to get the cat to go to the right place. I'm sorry, chat. This is the worst thing I've ever done. This is the controversy that ends my channel. I know. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I needed the cat off the chest and it wasn't able to move. It's the worst. Hello, Toy Cat. You already inspired me to walk 1,000,000 blocks in the overworld. I've walked 35,000 blocks. Thank God the cat is safe. I guess all cats going to hell is true, says Alina Khan. I mean, that cat isn't... That cat's in a better place now, right? That sounds like I'm talking about the cat being dead, but that cat's in a way better place than he was before. So really, I did a pretty good thing there. Thank you very much. I can make some fireworks. And let's get back to the wheat farm. It's going to be great. Hi, Toycat. I've been binge watching all your videos recently. Cheers, says Sack. Hey, I'm glad the videos have been useful in that way. That's the craziest thing about my channel. I kind of design it this way, I'll be honest. Like, I like that my channel isn't something you have to watch. A lot of channels are designed so that once a day has passed, the video is kind of outdated. Like if you cover specifically just news that is relevant that day, or if you vlog your daily life, like today's more exciting than yesterday. I kind of like that my channel is like timeless in that regard. Like, oh yeah, you can probably still enjoy a video from then now, but it means there's this funny thing where like the people who watch my videos, you know, like a lot of my videos that are like years old, still people going on there and being like, hey, did you know this is a thing that you can do better with waterlogging? And it's like, waterlogging didn't exist back then. It's a weird feeling to have to explain, and it's not one that I guess most people have to deal with, but it is something that I have to deal with, I guess. It's okay, I love the shirt, and I have the same, but mine is camo. You know, I kind of want to get another one of these, because again, it's one of those shirts that I feel like has only gotten me nice words on the internet. So I guess when I go to America at some point next month, I'll have to pick me up one of these. It'll be great. It'll be wonderful. Cat rolled a 6 and landed on go to heaven. I mean, if rolling a 6 gets you into heaven, you know, I would love, one of the things I always like theorizing is like, okay, you know, what if humans got it right, but a little bit wrong? Like, this is how you can make any interesting story, I feel like. What if, like, heaven exists, but instead of being based on your actions in life, it's entirely random? Like, oh yeah, so what happens is there's a guy at the gate who rolls a dice. If you get a 6, you can get it. You didn't get a 6, well, sorry. You clearly don't deserve to be in heaven, do you? Like, wouldn't that be interesting? Because a lot of life is based on luck. Like, a lot of it's based on actions as well. A lot of people like to pretend life is entirely luck, but there's a lot of life that is purely down to luck, right? Wouldn't it make sense that, therefore, any afterlife that exists is based on luck? I think that would be again, it'd be a cruel world. It's not a world we want to believe exists, but wouldn't that be fascinating to learn? Like, imagine you spend your whole life like, okay, I'm gonna get things done perfectly because I want to make sure we get into this, you know, eternal greatness that I hear is coming. And then you find out like, oh yeah, as it turns out, it's not actually based on your actions in life. It's based on randomness. Because, I mean, wouldn't it make sense that if there's like a life right here, that some of the rules that apply to this life apply to the afterlife? Because a lot of people like to be like, oh yeah, you know, this is all religions that believe in afterlife, believe there's like a perfect version of it. Wouldn't it be crazy if that perfect, and that perfect version is based on our perfect versions? Also, I brought this to say villagers love to judge us. That's literally all they do all day, every day, right? Like, it's terrible. I feel like they shouldn't do that. I assume this will be a video, says Fatboy5GD. Usually these things don't turn into videos, but my Thursday streams, I always turn into videos because it's the one stream every single week that you can definitely expect. So I feel like if people miss the stream, I want to give them an opportunity to click it, even if it's like bad for the channel's overall rankings, etc. So yeah, this will be available as a channel. It'll be great. This isn't mining ice. Oh, those mining ice streams, man. There was so much ice I had to mine. I'm kind of glad we're done with it. Like, a part of me is just like, thank God. It's over. That's what matters here. The fact that it's over. We're done now. We're finally finished. Billionaires are technically minorities because there aren't many of them. I have no idea where that came from, Mr. Big Nasty. Nice name, by the way. But whether you're a good person or not depends on your luck. So entry to heaven does too. Oh, there you go. There's the hot take right there. What if being a good person is based on luck? I mean, being a good person isn't based on luck, though, right? Like, the guy who decided to super chat, he didn't do so because he got lucky. He made a conscious decision there, right? And I don't know if that you consider that being a good person, but I do, because obviously I'm a beneficiary of it. Also, I love how there's this fun. Also, how a stream's bad for overall ratings, says Internames. So, you know, if you're curious about the inside scoop on YouTube, like, I think it's called the inside baseball thing. Because here's the deal. I know a lot of people don't care about the inner workings of YouTube. They just care about the content. That's why people show up here and they're just like, hey, this is boring. Why are you talking? And it's like, well, I mean, this is kind of like we're having like a fun chat. It's something we do like once a week, if not more. A lot of people like it, but if you're new, it's something I could see being not the perfect thing. If something doesn't meet your expectations, you don't necessarily like it. And most people on YouTube don't talk about YouTube because it's something that isn't interesting to most people. But the way YouTube tends to work, my understanding, and this seems to have been true based on all the things I've seen, is that YouTube, you know, the way YouTube determines how many subscribers should see a video is based on how many subscribers click the previous video from that click-through rate. Like, YouTube can do a pretty good job at working out what odds you have of clicking a video. So when my stream goes out and you don't click it, well, because you watched it or because you're like, oh, that was a stream, I don't need to watch that live. And most people choose not to click live streams. So because most people choose not to watch them, YouTube gets the message that like, oh, you don't like videos from this channel that often. And therefore, when I next upload something that I put hours and hours of work into, YouTube's like, yeah, you know, the last hour-long video you didn't like. Because an hour-long stream is seen as an hour-long video, is seen as something you didn't like from me. And you might say that's ridiculous, but it's the way YouTube works. And it's why a lot of streamers do all their streaming off YouTube, because they don't want to have they don't want their streaming career to hurt their video career. Also, Bedrock is yes, says Mac Ellickson. You know, I agree. I love me some Bedrock. It does have to be said. This is the best video in a long time since Philip Pong. Yeah, I feel like it's definitely a polarizing video. A lot of people like to hear the talk about like, hey, so you know, does something you know, does God roll dice, or you know, like a lot of people do enjoy the deep conversations, but a lot of people don't. A lot of people, what they want in entertainment is that just like, you know, make me feel less alone for this very split second. Yeah, there's a reason that most entertainment, you know, like reality TV shows are infinitely more popular than things that take hours to script like Game of Thrones, because you know, like there's a type of content that is just good enough, and when you diverge from that, people are like, huh, why is that a thing? Also, I want to clarify, this isn't Game of Thrones. This is more like, I guess this is like a podcast, right? Where you also get to hear the nice sounds of wheat being placed every few seconds. I like the sounds of wheat. Also, thank you, Frog Hop Gaming, for the $1 Canadian super chat. Also, my favorite stream was the Million Blocks one and the No Looking one. Oh man, the No Looking challenge was... I basically just spent like 2 hours going wrong there. Also, I accidentally joined the Russian Mafia, so it's Slight and Jello. Thank you. Also, I'm here for the wheat, says 4J Steve. Hey, good to see you, 4J Steve. It's been some time, right? It's been some serious time. Who doesn't love a good bit of wheat farming, right? This wheat farm too is like such a classic. Been here since the 360 days, kind of like leveled up as time went on. So in the Xbox One days, I was like, what if we had multiple levels? And then in the like last year or so, I was like, you know what if we had a farm that didn't just go a little high, it goes all the way up to sky height. And I love that the farms evolved in that way. Also, Toy Cat, also having kids is a hobby, that's why I donate. Oh man, I don't know how, like, I think I just like, so apparently my thoughts are controversial. I say a lot of things that I think, and then a lot of those things get me in some hot water. And I think when I said like having kids is like a very time consuming hobby, people are like, no, you don't understand, it's different. And it's like, I mean, I don't want it to mean, I'm not saying it's not a good idea to happen. I'm not saying it's not a noble task, but it's a hobby nonetheless. And people are like, yeah, well, your definition of hobby doesn't include mine. I think it's interesting, right? Because you can call having kids a job, and people are like, yeah, perfectly respectable. But why not a hobby? Why not a very time consuming, very money consuming hobby? Like, you could get into, you know, like Warhammer, or like even, you know, pick an expensive hobby, and it's less expensive than children. Pick a time-consuming hobby, less time-consuming than children. Therefore, logically speaking, either you make a new category for having children, or having children is a hobby. That's my official breakdown on this one. This is much, but it's still honest work. I just joined too. Kids are a hobby. See, darn it, look at me, chat. This is what you did. Your $2 caused me to start a whole new little mini controversy thing here. Also, one of the things I never finished, just as a fun fact, because I can see it from here, the stable. I don't know when I started making that. Probably a Let's Play episode, right? But I just never finished the back of it, and it looks really weird, like it's been sawn off by the world or something. Oh, also, you know, Forger Steve, if you're still here, if you remember the 360 days, I still have in my Let's Play world a big wall going around the old barrier of the old 360 world. So like you'll notice it's just before Y432, like just over there. And I don't know, like I want someone else to reminisce about this with me. So just over here, yeah, just oh god. Here's where the ice breaks is -431. This was the edge of my old 360 world all those years ago, like before 2014 when I converted. I don't know why, it's cool that there's like, there's a little bit of the 360 still in my world. Also, I'm trying to think about, trying to justify facts that kids aren't a hobby, but I can't. I have 4 kids, they're a hobby for sure. They're a hobby for some people have kids for other reasons. Yeah, the crazy thing about kids, I think the weird thing about the modern world is that we try to define kids as being this like, this one task. Like if people say, oh, you have kids because you've got some grand noble vision or by accident, I think there should be somewhere in between of like, hey, so honestly, I had a bit too much spare time on my hands and I didn't want to get into off-roading, so I got into kids because, you know what? You make new friends as a parent, right? A lot of people have the same hobby as you. They look after children regularly. Like it's a thing that like, you know, you can totally do. Warhammer's hobby is more expensive than kids. I mean, I'll admit my Warhammer days were very, very expensive. But I feel like the cost of a child is somehow one of the few things that's like more expensive than that, right? Also, is lasagna just spaghetti cake? I guess it's pasta cake, if you really think about it. Can I just say, by the way, lasagna, top tier food. Very top tier food. Very few foods come close to the goodness that is lasagna. What are you doing with your life? I'm farming wheat and I'm talking to strangers on the internet. it's a good time. I like it personally. It allows us to talk about all the important things, the real things, the good things, etc. Also, we just joined. We're talking about kids being hobbies again. I didn't want to do it. We started the revolution. Okay, I'm gonna try my best to move off this. Okay, let's say something else controversial. I don't know, like I think that plants don't have feelings, or like I think. Wait, you know, actually, here's. I think this actually is a controversial one whenever it comes up. But I would be okay with killing 1,000, I don't know, like ponies, if it meant that we could like save a human life. I think like most people I don't think would make that judgment. But I've got this like big like humans first thing in my brain of like, you know what? Oh, all these other animals, you know, again, giraffes think they're so cool, but can giraffes kill 1,000 giraffes with the hit of a button? Nah, that's a human thing. Giraffes think they're so cool, but can giraffes stream on the... Can giraffes even play Minecraft? I think not. I'd kill 1,000 giraffes to save one human life. That's my... Because I used to always think... Because I don't think I've always had this opinion, honestly. Like, when I was a child, I'd look at... Because, have you ever... Okay, you know what happens in zoos? When there's a tiger and a... When a tiger attacks a child or something, they kill the tiger, right? That's why they killed Harambe, if I'm not mistaken. Not that he's a tiger. Also, busy today, have some farming funds. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Good to see you again, Kyla. You don't know, she's the newest mod on the channel, so appreciate the love and support anyway. And yeah, I hope your day gets less busy, or at least more fun or whatever. But no, I think my honest opinion is like, you know, animals are cool. Animals are, in an ideal world, let's have more of those. Which human though? What if it was a murderer? You know, I would also take the reverse opinion that like, you know, Harambe is a giraffe confirmed. I mean, Harambe thinks he's so cool, so he might as well be a giraffe. I'm telling you, of all the animals, giraffes are probably the ones that have the highest opinion of themselves, right? I guess because they're high up, quite literally. But it has to be, it's totally a thing. You know, you can tell looking at giraffes that they think good things about themselves. I think unfairly. I think giraffes are pretty cool, but they're not as cool as they think they are. Being a parent is a huge hobby. It's a pretty fun one and isn't expensive. Most people have seen if you know how to budget. A mum. Hey, congratulations on, I assume, the previously had baby or upcoming. Or, you know what, maybe congratulations on continuing that hobby. A lot of people don't choose to a lot of people get out of that hobby early on, and that's a shame. Also, giraffes can't make sounds. Yeah, exactly, right? You know, try putting a giraffe in this chair and try having a giraffe stream wheat in Minecraft. I bet that giraffe doesn't make as much progress as we do, because giraffes just aren't good at wheat farming in Minecraft. It's not their speciality. Funnily enough. My kid's 6 months old. Hey, what is your favorite animal? Says Country Life 42. Favorite animal? Honestly, it might be like a Shetland pony. Like one of those cute little baby... Yeah, like the little baby horses they have in like Iceland and stuff. They're top-notch animals. You know, those ponies, I bet if they could talk, they'd be like, hey, hey little friend buddy, you wanna give me a little pet? I think you do. I'll come over to you for that. Like I reckon they've got right, you know, they're the nice friendly people of animals. Whereas giraffes are like the kid who's too cool to like listen to you is like, yeah man, I'm just so tall, it's such a problem. He's complaining about, but like, what's it called, humble bragging? That's why I reckon giraffes all day. Whereas I reckon that like a Shetland pony or something, they're like cute little fun animals that just want you to pet them. Whereas you know, like I reckon you know, like cats, for example, we know what cats are thinking. We don't even have to like look into their brain. They just don't really like humans too much. That's cool. I can deal with that. You know, when you look at like under like a wolf, we know what they're thinking. Like, hey, I just want to kill and eat. Like polar bears are one of the most vicious animals. There's so many animals out there that are just like, hey, we should be killing them. I think any animal that's like hostile to humans and lives alongside humans, that'd be a whole thing we should get rid of. Also, thank you so much for the super chat, Alina Khan. Streamlabs doesn't work for me. Love your videos. Thank you so much, Alina. Anyway, yeah, again, if Streamlabs doesn't work, I entirely understand using YouTube. There's a reason I don't turn off YouTube super chats, and it's because, like, hey, super chatting is not just for me. It seems like it is, but obviously, I think donating makes people feel good about themselves. I think it's a thing that helps people, and I'm down to, like, it's the same reason, like, tipping is not a one-sided interaction, right? It seems like it is sometimes. Also, giraffes are jerks. They don't help short giraffes eat. Isn't that like a big reason that they are so tool evolutionary? Because like short giraffes die off, so they have to be really long-necked. I might just repeating like the Charles Darwin theory of evolution, but like I want to say that's the thing. Also, someone reckons I missed a lot of super chats. I usually miss the ones that don't have any text attached because I just don't have anything to say. Also, yeah, the YouTube super chat page isn't working. Just to show you that I'm not making this up. This is what the page... Oh, wait, it just loaded as I was saying it. Okay, so, thank you very much, Alexander Hunt. What features would you add in Minecraft? All of the features. Definitely not a super duper graphics pack, because we all know that wouldn't work on all devices. No, I would love to have more things to farm, but I think that'd be probably unrealistic. I think just more endgame content in general would be kind of great, because there's a lot of early game content in Minecraft, but I feel like it drops off towards like once you made a beacon, what more is there that's a great challenge to do? That's my personal opinion. Again, a really philosophical conversation. I enjoy this very much. I think if you force a conversation like that, it becomes less valuable. Like, I don't know, like, the reason that I'm never, like, saying, like, hey, what we talk about here is, like, philosophy. What we talk about here is history. What we talk about here is this, is because it's never really guaranteed to be one thing. Like, the reason I enjoy these chats, these streams we have, is because they bounce all over the place, you know? There's an inherent waviness. There's an inherent change. Oh, I just spilled water all over my phone. Ah, that's fine. Super chats are just bourgeoisie messages. Now that's a hot take right there. But you know, I like that these streams have a lot of variance in like what we're talking about at any given moment, and it's hard. Like one of the things I think a lot of people can do well, but I find tricky, is if you like talk about X subject, there's like a 50-50 chance I'm gonna be good at doing it. Like if you're like, hey, tell me, you know, chat right now. Just say a topic you'd like me to talk about, and like 50% of them, I'm gonna be like, I have nothing to say about that. But because everyone can say one, I can talk about at least half of your topics. Also, thank you, Godor. Appreciate the super chat. F for the water phone. Oh man, I need to. You know, my phone has been sucking recently. Has anyone else get this thing where like after a phone lasts a year, it just dives in performance? Like the battery lasts basically no time. It's a whole problem. Okay, so. Smartphone preference, eating a burrito, the economy. What about the economy of eating burritos? Communism, Roblox, rubber bands, memes, communism. Talk about Marvel. Post-secondary education. The Israel-Palestine situation. Now, here's the thing about the Israel-Palestine situation. If both sides would just farm more wheat, then I reckon we'd be in a world where we could have a real, you know, like, you know, two something, you know, I'm trying to make a joke right here. The Israel-Palestine situation is very easy to make Minecraft jokes about, okay? Tabletop RPGs. The only one I've ever played is D&D. I would be down to get into another one at some point. But yeah, I don't really know any other tabletop RPGs. The economy of talking about the economy. The funny thing is a huge portion of the economy is predicting how well the economy will do, which is, it's kind of like a eventually, if that proportion gets big enough, there could be a self-fulfilling prophecy, where the better people get talking about the economy, the better the economy itself does. But I know you're making a joke, but guess what? Your thing is actually serious too. Was Epstein murdered? I think honestly that's such a... It's funny because it's the one part of the world where everyone's allowed to be a conspiracy theorist, and again, it's weird because like there's suspicious circumstances or whatever. But like it's funny that like just the popular opinion is like, hey, conspiracies, they're cool now. They're cool because they match up on this belief here. Also, Elite Mitro says, I watched your videos since the first Seed Sunday. Hey, thank you, man. You have a bunch of my broken key. He got witness proof. Talk about musicals. Okay, can I talk about musicals? I don't understand the concept behind musicals. Like, why is it better that a story's being told through music? I hate music so much. Like, music... Again, I think I've gone through this, like, because people ask, like, what's your favorite music? I don't love music just because it's in a genre. I don't understand people that do. That sounds like an insane position to have. Like, oh yeah, I like all food that starts with the letter Q or P. And it's like, what's the logic there? You know, like, music is a weird thing to me. I don't understand musicals. Also, Alina Khan says, would you ever dump someone on their birthday? You know, let's answer this one. So I think the correct answer to this question should be yes. I think you should be willing to dump someone on their birthday However, I also think that most long-term relationships, assuming it's more than like, I don't know, a week long, assuming there's any length to this relationship at all, then it's probably, you shouldn't break up with someone as a one-day decision, right? It shouldn't be a thing where you one day decide, like, hey, you know, right now I've just decided on the spot that, I actually lost. Oh, I just decided on the spot to break up with you. Like, breaking up is usually a long-term decision, like a medium term. Like, it takes you a week or 2 or 3 or, you know, like there's a trend downwards, and then if that trend goes down long enough, then you decide to break up, right? That's my experience, recent or otherwise, with breakups. And yeah, I think like if one of those days happens to be the birthday, it shouldn't be like, oh yeah, this is the last chance. It'd be like, okay, let's have the birthday together. I think unless someone does something truly horrendous that happens to be on their birthday, and also you're in the early phase of a relationship, you probably shouldn't. I also think their birthdays are pretty arbitrary, so you should just say, yeah, I'd break up with someone on their birthday. Why not, right? Like, why is the birthday the day you don't get to be breaking up with? Can I, you know, like, if I, you know, like, I don't know, hit my girlfriend, if I, you know, like, if I call up her family and tell them all that she's a dumb, I don't know, like, mean words, basically, then she should have the right to break up with me over that, right? Hypothetical girlfriend, of course. Question, would you be willing to get into Minecraft Monday or be asked into it? Honestly, a lot of the, like, past Mondays, I've had, like, opportunities, like, or not direct opportunities, but someone's been like, hey, I'm looking for someone that does this, that, but I've just not been there that Monday. Because Mondays are usually days, like, I've got things going on, I guess. I'm not very hyped on the idea of Minecraft Monday. I think it's, you know, I think the idea of earning $10,000 is kind of cool, but beyond that, it's like, oh yeah, there's this huge event, and it's Java Edition Hunger Games. It's like, yeah, I could do that, I guess. It's not outside the realm of possibility, right? Also, the video title lied to me. You're totally not just planting wheat. You're not. It was all a lie. I did it all to trick you, flying boss. You caught me, and the pain I feel is immeasurable. But yeah, how do you stop live streams? Says Diamond Cart. The same way you start them. I don't know how to respond to that one. Like, you're having issues stopping a live stream right now, and you're going into other people's live streams to look for help for that. Also, talk about the YouTube union that will sue if their demands aren't met. I think YouTubers inherently can't have a union, right? Like, I think unions are a really interesting topic if you're into politics. I'm not going to talk about politics in a Minecraft farming stream here, but I think that YouTubers inherently don't have and can't really have a union, right? The cool thing about YouTube, as opposed to almost any other job in the world, is you get paid based on your results directly. I think one of the blessings about what I do for a living, it's sometimes a curse, I'll admit, but like the amount of, like, you know, people who watch a thing, the amount of, like, ad revenue my videos make directly affects how much money I make. Rather than it being like, oh yeah, my boss guesses how much money he thinks he can get out of me, or like this, that. It's just like, hey, the way it works is, also, I'd like to see videos about the bad of Minecraft. The bad of Minecraft? I know that there are bad things about Minecraft, and I've definitely gone over them in the past. But I feel like Minecraft positivity hype is what people love these days, right? Like, there's a lot more people who love loving Minecraft than hating Minecraft, which is cool that we live in a world like that, but it is the world we live in, I would say. I think the worst bit about Minecraft is that there's so much cool going on with the game. The community's doing so much great work. The developers doing so much great work. And then there's a PR and management side that seemingly doesn't understand what the game is, what makes the game great, what makes the game work. And that's kind of strange to me. Also, basically the most extreme version of working on commission. Yeah, one of the jobs that I would have loved to have, I have a friend who used to work in sales. In fact, I have another friend that used to work in house sales. I think working in that sort of environment, it's terrifying because if you don't, you know, sell a thing, you don't get paid. But also it means that you know, like, okay, let's make another example. If you want to work on a milk farm, I assume milk farms are a thing. By the way, love your videos. Currently attempting...
Hi, I love your vids. I'm currently attempting your no Minecrafting challenge and, surprisingly, I've made it to the nether. Keep up the good work.
Thank you so much, Longo the Ape, and I'm glad that you saw the challenge as a thing to attempt yourself as well. I think it's cool when people are like, hey, I'm gonna try this challenge too. I'm glad the challenge has been keeping you entertained, and good luck on killing the dragon. Hope you don't. The Never can be a rough place, so take it easy, and good luck, man. Thank you very much for the super chat. Why do people like to talk about other YouTubers on different YouTube streams? Yeah, it's the weirdest thing. Like, I think it's like it's a sort of chat that I just can't respond to. It might as well be like a foreign language for all I can do with it. And that sucks, but you know, a lot of people don't realize on live stream chat, I guess, that if the best chance for me to respond is if it's something I have knowledge about. Like if you ask me, so Toycat, what's your opinion on the milk farming situation in northeastern, you know, Canada? Actually, you know what? Canada, the milk situation's fascinating to me. But I actually do know a lot about the milk situation in Canada, I guess. What's like if you ask me like what the situation is when it comes to I don't know, the situation in the Gaza Strip. What Toycat, what do you think about this whole you know, I don't know, like this, that. If it's something I've literally never heard of before, then what am I gonna be able to respond to that with, you know? Like nothing. I have no knowledge to share about that. The cool thing about human conversation is that we can share, you know, knowledge. But if you ask about something that there's a very low chance I do have knowledge about, like here's a good way to put it. If you ask me about something you have knowledge about and I don't have knowledge about, that's not how a conversation works, right? That's not how you grow, and especially in a one-sided conversation like this. Like, let's be honest, in a live stream, you know, it's a 1 to 1,000 relationship. There's one of me to just over 1,000 of you, right? So the ability for, you know, you to be like, so yeah, the situation about milk farming in northeastern Canada is there's a milk monopoly, because back when the free trade deals were signed with all the countries around Canada, they decided to keep milk as a protected industry. And that's why Canada has the most expensive milk in the world by most measures, because something called the milk monopoly. It's a fascinating thing, where milk is one of the few things you can't take between states in Canada too, if I'm not mistaken, or provinces is what they're called. Milk in Canada is such a fascinating thing. Like, you know, this is the most, like, unironically interesting, ridiculous thing. What's your opinion on the milk situation in Canada? Thank you so much, RobotDuck897. Personally, I think the milk situation in Canada is really good if you're a dairy farmer, and really bad if you're literally anyone else. I think it's one of those, you know, like, because one of the cool things about society and government, like, this is just a fundamental decision we will have to make at some point, is, like, you know, like, should we look after every single small interest? Like, is Milk Farmer a big enough group warranting everyone else pitching in and, you know, helping with? And you can make this decision for any class of person. I would argue when it's like a profitable business, you maybe shouldn't make the same decision. But it's this fascinating thing where they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna raise prices for consumers. If you don't know, I think it's like $5 a gallon or something. Chat, if you live in Canada, how much do you pay for milk? Shock everyone with your prices. And because the milk is so heavily not subsidized, it might be subsidized, but basically subsidized there. Because of that, you actually can't take milk between states. So you can take weed between states. Like, weed is less regulated than milk there. Also, thank you so much for the £4.99 super chat. Oh, sorry, the $4.99 super chat. Who says he only has leather armor so far. Also, have some money. Also, charcoal, yes or no? I'm a big fan of charcoal in the early game. I think charcoal in the late game, it's too much effort to be worth it. Until we get to the stage where we eventually can, I pay $5 indeed, 6 a gallon. Oh, $6 a gallon, Jesus. Fun fact, wheat plus trade equals wheat from loot from villages. Ooh, it's $4.50 for 3 litres. So 3 litres in the UK would cost about £1.25. So I guess that'd be about $2 Canadian. I don't know. About to have to dip, but I love the Minecraft hoarding streams. Immensely satisfying and inspirational. Again, the cool thing about these streams too is we get a bunch of wheat, which we can use to do a bunch of cool stuff, right? I love that it kind of stacks up. Someone says it could be up to $10 for the milk. See, you know, that's crazy expensive, right? That's the milk situation in Canada. Now you know. Isn't that interesting? You know, like, I think it is. But if I didn't have any knowledge about it, like, it just so happens that I do, then what would I say? Like, oh yeah, I hear Canadian milk is more mooey than other milk. You know, I've never seen a cow in Canada. Where are all the cows at? Maybe that's why their milk's so expensive. They have one cow they're all collectively sharing. See, like, I think conversations kind of need to have participants that are interested in sharing their stuff. Swedish milk is really cheap though. Yeah, there's this interesting thing in the rest of the world where, as in, like, let's just say Europe to keep things simple. There's this interesting thing where milk is really, really cheap here, but the trade-off for that is that milk farmers don't make very much money. In fact, a lot of the times they don't make any money. They basically make a break-even, and it's too expensive to not milk their cows because, you know, like not milking your cows makes even less money. So they do something that makes them next to no money because next to no money is better than no money. And the argument is like milk should cost more so that milk farmers make more, but it's like, so we should all pay more milk to pay for the milk farmers. It's like an interesting like question of like the whole, it's almost like a form of like welfare, but via the market system almost is what people are suggesting. It's fascinating. It's a weird debate because it comes across very differently to if you just explicitly said, let's give money to the milk farmers. People would be like, well, you know, I don't know about that. But if you're like, let's just all pay more for our milk. And it's like, I don't know about that actually. I don't know how I feel about that one. And yeah, it's fascinating. You know, dive into the milk situation in Canada. Honest pay, honest work. You know, that's what wheat farming is. So here's the cool thing about when we're done this stream, we'll now have a bunch of wheat because I'm excited for this. Like, I don't know why I decided I want to farm a bunch of leather, like because I don't know, make some books or something. Now that I have this much wheat, think about how much we can farm cows. I want to find out how many cows we can make in survival before we basically break the game. I want to find out, is breaking the game in survival a really bad idea? Let's find out. Also, we have good milk though. Okay, chat, has anyone ever tried milk and been like, yeah, this is good milk? I've never had milk that I could taste the quality of. Milk to me tastes like water, and I've never had milk that tasted otherwise. Never. No matter where I've been in the world, milk is like slightly funny tasting water. Does anyone disagree with that one? If you do, I'd love to know. That would be interesting to me. Make a pyramid out of hay bales. That'd be an interesting thing to do, I think. Like, again, I'm definitely looking for ideas. Because the problem with making a pyramid out of hay bales is, like, the amount of time it takes to make a single hay bale is, like, so intense, right? That's just a thing. England, step up your milk game. Chocolate milk. Chocolate milk, okay, first of all, chocolate milk's so bad for you, like, compared to just, like, having a milkshake or having, like, any other, like, sugary drink. It's, like, so horrendously filled with sugar and calories, etc. Second of all, here's the other thing about milk. I don't like milk, I only drink water and Gatorade. Water and Gatorade, man, that is a combination that is not fit for the gods. Would you drink milk straight from the cow's udder? The craziest thing, also, why are we talking about milk? Switch up the conversation. You know, I'll talk about milk all day if you know, I do this to everyone that does this. But long go the 8th for you, you know, I trust your sincerity here. So think about it this way, right? To consider, you know, I'm going to continue on the milk conversation. No one's going to stop me. I'm unstoppable here. So, the craziest bit about milk, in my opinion, is at some point, someone had to be the first person to be like, hey, let's try this, you know, let's just squeeze a cow's, it's a cow's udder, right? You know what a cow's udder is on a human? Someone had to squeeze a cow, one of those, go, ooh, this tastes like normal milk, except human milk's actually sweeter than cow milk. Ooh, this tastes like slightly worse human milk. And then we decided to do that on a mass level. Like, the funny thing is like, oh yeah, so obviously we know for a fact, someone had to be the first person to try cow's milk. Someone had to be the first person to smoke the plant that, you know, that gets you high on drugs or whatever. Like, all these sorts of things, someone had to be the first person off. And we, you know, like, you can think back logically and know, oh yeah, there was a first person to try eating strawberries, for example. But the thing that I find kind of crazy, also we can't actually crush this block right here. I guess because I'm not properly jumping onto it. Whatever. But also can you do something? We just talk about human encounter. No, it's an interesting thing, right? Like, someone had to be the first person to drink a cow. But then that's true for so many other things. Like, someone had to try eating wood at some point. Like, someone died because they only ate wood until it killed them. Because they thought, like, oh yeah, I'm really sick, I'll just eat some wood. Someone had to, at some point, go through that logic, and they died because of it. Someone's, like, eaten bees, thinking, oh yeah, bees, if I eat their stings, then I'll be able to sting people. Someone's been like, oh yeah, I'm gonna just... Like, all of the things that we know aren't edible, the only reason we know they're not edible is because a lot of people, probably not even one person, probably a lot of separate people at separate points in time, a lot of people tried to find out if it was edible, and then they learned that it in fact was not. And I don't know why I find that interesting, but it's like, yeah, you know, we like to believe that deaths are like a rare preventable thing these days, right? Like every time someone dies in a car accident or a plane accident or a shooting or name a thing, like it's a tragedy whenever it happens, right? Everyone can agree on that. That's the modern way of thinking. But like even 200 years ago, we existed in a world where humans were pretty expendable. Like, oh yeah, this guy tried eating, you know, like, I just spilled my chocolate milk, says Fupia. That's very sad for your chocolate milk. But again, chocolate milk sucks. I'm sorry, it just does. I love the concept of chocolate milk. I never loved the execution. But yeah, someone had to be like, hey, I'm gonna try eating, you know, cow intestine. Cow intestine's a thing they still eat in a lot of Asia, by the way. It's called, what, tripe, I think it is? It's really, really gross, but it's also tasty. I don't know, it's weird. There's every single thing at some, like, someone tried eating that at one point and died from it. Can we talk about that one video we said, everyone has built a skyscraper with white rain? You made me laugh out loud and wake the family. I'll admit, that video, I was probably pushing the bounds of what you probably are meant to say in a Minecraft video. I'll admit that one. But yeah, I'm glad a lot of people liked that video. I think it was fun that we I think one of the cool things about YouTube is that you can kind of mix up what people expect from you. Like it was a really risky thing for me to do, but I like that people enjoy the new era of Toy Cat content, because it's really interesting. Again, we were talking earlier about how, like, yeah, it's kind of like commission but on extreme level. YouTube's also the only job where you decide what you want to do on an extreme level, except if you decide what you want to do wrong, you know, you starve and you die or whatever. But it's so fascinating to me that, like, oh yeah, like you know, like the stuff I was doing before was fun, but I was like, you know, I want to do, I want to show people survival projects that I want to put 20 hours into. And like anyone would have said, that's ridiculous, why do that? And people have loved the videos. The glass block video has gotten like 55,000 likes now. Like, I've got more likes on that video than I place glass blocks. Also, thank you for the 199 super chat. Tyrese Patton, can I be your Minecraft slave? Slavery is actually illegal, if I'm not mistaken, sir. Chat, if you can lawyer me up and correct me on this one. But if I'm not mistaken, I do believe, to the best of my current knowledge, that slavery is in fact illegal. By using your logic, I ate cow for the first time. Now everyone knows not to eat it. But the thing is like, here's the best bit. That's best case scenario. Odds are, someone tried eating wood. Someone tried eating, you know, metal. Someone tried, you know, like, every single thing that we know you shouldn't do. We know because someone had to die for it. Which I think is probably like a breaking point in the modern world. Like, because we value life so highly, which is good. I'm glad that someone values my life highly. Like, someone should be like, hey, this Toy Cat guy, he's talking too much nonsense. Let's kill him. And, you know, like, that could have just been a thing. Oh, actually, wait. Okay, sorry, chat. I know we're bouncing up and down. Why did you stop doing COD videos? Says Jack Shepherd. Honestly, I was finding less and less joy in the game. And then the game was slowly adding in microtransactions. Like, the last game I made regular videos on was Advanced Warfare, where it became all about microtransactions. And I make a big stand against, like, hey, if you use gambling in games to try and get me to spend more money, I'm not gonna play your game. That's you know, especially a full price game. Like, if it's a free game, I don't like it, but okay. But they were full price games that were using the fact that they had a YouTube audience to sell things, and I didn't want to be a part of that. Did not want to be a part of that in the slightest. But yeah, no, I was thinking about something recently, because I love how much of, again, what is we just accept as being always true hasn't been, like, we live in a world that is so recent, and I know that sounds weird to say, but like, so much of what we accept as fact only became fact recently. An example of that is, like, let's say you commit a crime. Let's say I decide to kill someone because, I don't know, I hate their opinion, or I decide to kill someone because they said that, you know, giraffes are actually pretty cool. I'd be like, hey, screw you, man, giraffes aren't cool. I stab them to death, right? You know, let's say I do that. In the modern day world, I'm sure I'd get caught, right? In fact, chat, do you think, right now, yes or no, let's do a live poll, how many of you think I could get away with a murder? How many of you think that? Like, I think I would stand an okay chance. Like, I wouldn't do it because I'd live in fear my whole life. I think that, you know, like, I could be caught at any point in time. Technology's going so fast, someone will work out something. No, I couldn't get away with it. So, Yeah, most people are reckoning I can't get away with it. I don't like your lack of faith. Thank you, Lemon Essay. Thank you, Ryan Smiles. 2 out of 10 chance. Giraffes don't even exist. Giraffes are a lie made up by the globalists to keep us all down. It's a well-known fact. The literature says this. Maybe. Just say you killed them in Minecraft. I'm sure that is a legal defense that people love to hear. But yeah, so okay, everyone thinks I'd get caught, right? And I think that's true for most people. You have to do a really good job at murdering someone to get away with it. Think about how the process worked like 200 years ago. You kill someone, the police show up. If they show up, I mean, like, how are they gonna know that person's dead? Like, their family says, hey. Yeah, like, think about all the steps in the murder that are so much slower. You kill someone, it takes a few days, then their family walks to the police station. They can't call the police. They say, hey, my person didn't come home. The police probably ask questions. They try and work out where they were last. And then they find the body, and it's like, is there anyone around here? No, there isn't. The case has gone cold. There's no direct evidence as to who did this one. And obviously there were, like, you could do good detective work, but most people, if you died, like, how are you going to get caught? Probably not very likely to get caught unless you make huge mistakes. Because, Are you admitting to being Jack the Ripper, says OG Taylor? I totally am.
Hi, Toy Cat. You
Hey.
inspire me to do great things, and you make amazing content. And thanks for the stream on my B-Day.
Hey, happy birthday, Justin No Talent. You know what? You don't have no talent. You have no talent. That means you have yes talent. Thank you so much for the $20 super chat. I hope you have a great birthday, dude. And thank you so much. I'm glad the videos inspire you in some way. That's my favorite thing to hear, and it's cool to hear that it's a thing that is true to you too. So thank you so much for that. But here's the deal about like murder, right? Back in the day, I reckon it'd be so easy because going between countries was also much easier. There weren't like border points and checking all of this stuff is a fairly recent invention. So all you have to do is like go to a new country. The police is like 175 years old. Yeah, like you murder someone, you might be a social pariah, but like, yeah, you can kill someone, probably take their stuff, go somewhere else with it, and just be like, oh yeah, I moved, I did this, that. You know, like if you're good at making up a story, then boom, live a new life. I reckon, in fact, a lot of life was probably dealt with a murder that way. Like, oh yeah, I don't like my boss, so I killed him. You know, I thought, you know, I said that I want to work less hours. He said no, so I stabbed him 15 times and then stole his house keys. Or like, I guess what valuable things did people have back then? I guess just gold, right? Like I stole his gold, and now I'm traveling around Europe. I don't know, like it feels like murdering someone would have been so easy that time. Like Jack the Ripper, someone says, oh yeah, Toy Cat, you're clearly Jack the Ripper. Jack the Ripper was probably just a dude, like he was probably insane. He probably would have gone caught so easily in the modern day. But he's seen as like this genius because like, oh, he killed someone and then he left the scene of the crime. Because, you know, as you might know, all the people that Jack the Ripper killed, they were prostitutes, right? They were easy targets in that regard. He wasn't a particularly smart serial killer. He just was able to, realize like, hey, these people don't have people directly looking for them anytime too soon. And if I just take them to somewhere where no one is, I can kill them, and I can, you know, like cut out the innards or whatever. Like, I don't defend the dude. I think he's a very strange person for wanting to cut someone's insides out. Carl, that kills people. Exactly, right. That's all Jack the Ripper was. He's just a dude who wanted to see what happens on the inside. Also, here's something weird. Can you tell me what's happening here, chat? Every single time I go to these lairs, these seeds get unplanted. Like, have you noticed that? Every time I come here, these seeds are like out from the ground. Do you know what's causing that? Like, should we watch it until it happens? Let's watch. Let's watch and let's find out. The Toy Cat Manifesto. The Toy Cat Manifesto is you shouldn't kill people because you'll get caught, and you also shouldn't kill people for moral reasons. But if you were gonna kill people, the past would be the way better time. You definitely have yes talent. Thank you very much, RobotDuck867. Oh, here's a chat. I just fell and I'm half heart. I have 78 levels. Oh, Jesus, man. Nice job, Longo. But, yeah, the interesting thing to me is a lot of people really enjoyed the talk about would it be moral in a world where time travel's invented? I don't think our ethics work. But let's say you could go back in time, kill someone, and then go back in time and fix it. Or, in fact, let's make that simpler. Let's say you kill someone, then you go back in time to where they're not murdered. Have you still committed a crime? Is the act of killing someone immoral, or is the act of having someone be permanently dead the immoral bit? Because I think it's definitely the second thing, right? I think it's 100%. The immoral part of murder is not that you wanted to end their life, it's the fact that their life is ended or had the possibility of being ended. Right? Tell me if you disagree. It needs direct sunlight. But all of this doesn't have direct sunlight, right? Am I crazy? Someone says this is turning into a non-family friendly PG stream. Is murder not family friendly in your opinion? Is that where you draw the line? Because if so, I've got some bad news for you. Do you think it actually is light? Because if so, all I have to do is like place a... Actually, how would we do that? I guess the water probably transmits some light. I think the lack of light causes crops to break. It's been a really long time since I've encountered that one then. So yeah, there's no direct sunlight and we're wasting our seeds because of it. Today I learned. I guess we could just have some, like, what do we place? Like we could place a lantern on the ceiling, right? I think that's gotta be the solution here. Let's go place a lantern. Or rather a sea lantern. I agree, fried rice. My nearest lanterns are too far away, probably. It's a shame you can't place torches on the ceiling. Since attempted murder or assault isn't as bad as murder in the earthly law, so your answer is validated by the government. But I mean, is it even bad at all? That's the thing, right? Like, is like killing someone but then they're not dying? Let's say only you had this time machine. Because if everyone has a time machine, then things get more complex. Like, I just wonder, you know? Like, would it be okay to kill someone if they didn't die? You know, or even better yet, let's say someone, every time they die, they come back to life. I'd love to know how much of a crime it is to kill them. There's all these sorts of fun things. Also, there's this funny thing where someone's always like, oh yeah, toy cat, you know, this. Also, why is this wheat planted and okay? Chat, tell me this. Why is that not okay, but this is? I'd love to know what you think about that. What would happen if you went back in time and murdered yourself? Would it be murder or suicide? Oh, that's definitely suicide, right? I don't think you should go back in time and kill yourself. Don't get me wrong. Definitely a bad idea. You know, bad play to put in the book. But I also think that it's kind of a thing. Also, I'm not from Australia, says Mr. Gaming. Your super chat currency disagrees with you there. And I don't know who to believe anymore. Just join how we now talking about if murder's okay or not. I think the ethics of murder are interesting, right? Because I've said this before, maybe this shows like I'm secretly a sociopath or something. But I always thought when teachers were like, hey, you shouldn't kill people for moral reasons and also because prison, I was like, it's because prison, right? Like, killing people would be way more common if prison wasn't a thing. If we didn't have a law and justice system, I think more people would die. I think a serious part of like your decision, because you know, have you ever seen people like almost get into fights? Then they're like, oh, you've got to punch first because for legal reasons, I don't want to be the person who lays the first punch. Oh, this is my favorite thing actually. You know, one of the cool things about the adult world is that people don't want to start fights because there's actual consequences, right? In school, if someone punches you, a teacher goes, hey, that's not very nice. In the real world, if someone punches you, guess what? They go to prison for X amount of years. There's real consequences for those actions. And I love when people like realize that like, you can't just do anything in the real world. Like, tell me, this is such a stupid thing to me, but I've always hated that schools are like basically their own miniature governments where they get to make their own laws that supersede the laws of the country there. And that sounds absurd, but it's true, right? Like, a school can tell you, hey, you're a free citizen and whatever else, but you can't dye your hair here. Hey, you're a free citizen, but it's okay that someone punched you in the face because they insist that you deserved it, or you know, whatever the situation is. Schools get to make up their own laws, basically, right? Isn't that crazy? Isn't that insane? Also, 2BT demonstrates what the lack of prison does to people. It's interesting because on the internet there's a bunch of situations, not just like Minecraft servers, but like, you know, like whole internet communities where people are just terrible human beings because there's no punishment for it. But I think it's, I think there's something interesting where it proves that it's not because of the lack of punishment system, it's because there's no lack of like, there's no lack of, there's like a lack of like social system. Okay, in the real world, every time you don't commit a crime, you are like seen more favorably by society. You don't think about it that way, but it's basically true. Hi, I'm enjoying your stream, says Demon Steph Q Nuts. Thank you very much for the 10 Ron super chat. Romanian. What is Ron actually? Thank you very much for the 10 Ron. I like Ron. Weasley and of course that currency, I assume. But yeah, no, I also like sports are the same. It's basically true, right? There's so many weird things. If you listen to a murder podcast, the good one is a lot of true crime podcast. You know what, murder podcasts, I love the idea of just listening to murder for a while. You know, isn't that what you did today? Isn't this basically a murder podcast? If you really think about it. But, is it moral to travel back and invent something that's going to be invented in the future? Example, I make vaccines before we invented it. Am I stealing the idea? I think you definitely are. And I think if you could do that, and that doesn't break the timeline, then basically you could just accelerate humans infinitely forward. Maybe that's what we've done this whole time. Maybe it should have taken us 10 trillion years to get to this point, and we got here in, you know, like 30,000. Because people keep coming back in time with these genius solutions. It's a thing, right? But yeah, no, here's, like, if you think about this live stream chat, right? Right now, a lot of people are saying a lot of things. Some people are saying some absolutely horrendous things. Every now and then, you know, like, we have mods to deal with that. Some people are saying not only horrendous things, but boring things. You know what's worse than saying terrible things? Saying things that aren't of any value to anyone. I'm kidding, of course. But you get the point that, like, a lot of people say a lot of terrible things on all sorts of levels. And they say that because there's no real punishment for... There's no punishment for, like, let's call it evil, but it's not evil. There's no punishment for, you know, doing things that are against the social norms on YouTube live stream. There's being muted, but it's not really a punishment, right? No one's really like, oh no, I might get muted. But the cool thing is, the people who I do recognize stream after stream after stream, the people who are in these streams, and the people who, you know, like, I don't know, Kyler is a moderator, for instance. The people who super chat a bunch. People who, you know, like, I respond to most often. Like, oh yeah, there's the Alina Khans. There's the, you know, like, all these sorts of people. You know, even there's Mr. Prius here. But there's a whole bunch of people that you're like, oh yeah, I recognize your chats. You say normal things a lot of the time. There's, like, a social benefit that we have in the real world, where the more normal, not even normal, but the more you're not a serial killer, the more people can trust you. There's a reason you trust your neighbor more than you trust a stranger. They're both basically strangers, but one of them is a whole thing. Puff, pluff, plant those weeds, buddies. I don't agree. Yeah, that's definitely a thing, I think. Anyway, so today, let me just show you the kind of summary, because we've got less than 60 seconds to go. So thank you very much for watching the video. You can like it if you did like it. I feel like we went a little bit all over the place today. Maybe for better, maybe for worse. Let me know what you think. In today's stream, we gathered this much wheat. Oh, it's literally a whole chest full of wheat too. Look at this. This is beautiful. We got a chest full of wheat, and then we also got some more wheat right here. First live stream was able to watch, enjoying the channel. Thank you very much, man. Thank you for all the support recently on the channel. Tomorrow, I'm uploading a video about why this world is so broken. People have been asking me questions about Bedrock in the Nether, and weird glitches with the biomes at the edge of the world. All these sorts of things people have been asking about non-stop. So tomorrow, you'll learn the answers to all of those questions. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this video, and I'm glad that you don't like money, Bailey Cullen, because you better believe I like it. Anyway, yeah, thank you very much for watching this video, because I'm going to see you all in the next one, which will be tomorrow. Have a nice day, everyone. Oh, I've got a really long day ahead of me tomorrow. I'll let you know what it is in... Actually, I won't let you know what it is. I'll just... You know, follow me on Twitter and you'll see something about it. But I've got a long day ahead. I'm going to get to that day and you get to your day. Unless you're going to kill someone, in which case, watch another video first. Anyway, goodbye.